Monmouth is going to have 4 minutes, 20 seconds, and 75 yards to go to pull off one of the big upsets in FCS football. You see what they've done the last 2 times. Long, clock-eating drives, lots of plays. They don't have quite as much time, but they do have 3 timeouts.
And
you dream about this.
And again, they don't have to rush. There's a ton of time. They can keep that same tempo and pace they did the last 2 touchdown possessions.
Jawan Fari, good gain on first down, 7 yards. The Sam Houston students are eschewing all social distancing on the far side and getting into this one.
I mean, good job. Just feed Fari, get some positive yards, and then, again, the bubble screen. You know we're going to see it. We saw a bunch of them the last couple possessions.
It's all about sequencing. When will we see it? That's a low throw, scooped up on one hop by Moore. So a 3rd down coming here, 3rd and 3. If you're Tony Muskett, you've been dreaming about this as a kid, right? 4 minutes to go at your own 25.
And you talked about it would be a huge upset and arguably the biggest win in Monmouth history.
Definitely. It's a long way away, though. 3rd and 3. We know it's 4 down territory more than likely, unless there's a big loss. Single coverage to the bottom of the screen. He's looking for more. Terrific coverage by Isaiah Downs. Did just enough to throw off Lonnie Moore. And now Kevin Callahan has a decision to make.
I think you punt it because you have all 3 timeouts and your defense has played exceptional. But another good pass by Muskett and a ball that Lonnie Moore just can't come down with. But boy, it almost falls in the breadbasket. And that's why I'm up here and I don't get paid the big bucks to be a head coach, because he's going to go for it. So right here, for all intents and purposes, is your ball game, folks.
1 for 1 on 4th down today when truly going for it. Muskett's going to change it. Play clock is running down, and he didn't in time. Did they get the timeout called? They did.
Timeout, Monmouth. Their first charge timeout of the half. Be a 30-second timeout.
I mean, that's a big decision, too, because...
it's huge. Now you burn that timeout.
Now you have to get it.
Yeah, I know you have to get it. Exactly.
Which it was probably already true anyway.
I just thought their defense was playing well enough and kind of Sam Houston offensively the last couple possessions, just kind of going through the motions, that I would have punted that thing away. 3 timeouts and just try to play field position. But, you know, everybody's got different philosophies and different thoughts and how you feel the game's going, and they're going to go for it here.
Can you run one of your 2-point conversion plays here that you like so much?
If you have a 3 or 4 yard play that you just love, and you know the offensive coordinators have their sheet, better call it now. Because if you don't get it, season's probably over.
Hold in the back rather than Fari. Motions out. Single coverage everywhere. Muskett one-on-one with pushing and shoving. A flag flies. The catch is made anyway, and Monmouth converts again. Terrence Green the target.
Yeah, they can decline that pass interference because Terrence Green went up and made a man type of catch right there.
Jalen Thomas, they've picked on him today.
Pass interference, defense number 9. Penalties decline, the resultant play, the completed pass for a 1st down.
And it's just one-on-one on the outside. Muskett puts it up there. Terrence Green, great utilization of his hands, good control of the body, makes a great catch.
With the pocket breaking down, they're targeting him again. Thomas is flagged again. Is that 4 on Thomas today?
It sure is, and so now Thomas is just, his wheels are kind of spinning because when the receiver gets by him, he's grabbing.
Pass interference, defense number 9. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic 1st down.
Terrence Green is having himself a day.
And they're taking Jalen Thomas out.
And he's one of their best defensive players by all accounts coming in. Picked up 4 PI calls today.
And he was in a good position. He just kind of fell off balance, which I think caused him to contact him.
Monmouth at the 34. Watch Treadway has single coverage at the bottom of your screen. Musket looks that way, throws that way. Treadway has the first down, and now he's wrestled out of bounds. Can they pull this off, Rini? This would be a Houdini act.
The last 2 possessions and third counting this one, it's a different offensive team. They look different, and they have momentum, which means so much.
The last 22 yards may be the hardest. Fari tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Looked like Joe Wallace got him.
Well, and I tell you, Jonathan, for the first time today, as dominant as the defensive line for Sam Houston has been, they look like they're on their heels now. And they weren't like that at all coming up to this point in the game, and now they're just kind of second-guessing themselves.
If Wallace hadn't gotten a hand on him, Fari had room there. But those are the big ifs. He did get a hand on him. It's 2nd and 9. Musket wants to extend, gets it away. Lonnie Moore, the safety blanket, stretches forward. 3rd and 3 coming.
Yeah, good job by Musket just to get it out, get something. Sam Houston collapses, makes the tackle.
Fari the carry, skips past 1, has the first down, is inside the 10. Monmouth is 1st and goal to potentially take the lead. An injured Bearcat will stop the clock.
Officials timeout for a defensive injury.
How about Monmouth, though? That sideline is alive.
This will be the upset of the year. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I don't even think there's a question. And again, the momentum is just, it's like a light switch was turned on. Monmouth, a different team, particularly offensive. And again, they've had patience the last couple possessions. And they're methodically going down the field. They're trying to win this ball game.
Remember that 2-point conversion that confused us? It makes them breathe a little easier if they score. It's a big if still. Here is our part of the bracket. North Dakota State, Eastern Washington looking on with considerable interest. James Madison, VMI, North Dakota, Missouri State
well, if Monmouth
as well.
wins this game, and this bracket's upside down. Now James Madison, who was kind of chip on their shoulder, kind of disrespected, they're back in the driver's seat for home field advantage, and then North Dakota State or Eastern Washington gets a home game. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Handed the note, the Sam Houston win probability has gone down from 99% to 53%. You can understand
Yeah,
why.
sure can.
Under 2 minutes to go. 1st and goal. Holden the carry. He's locked up behind the line of scrimmage. It's another big loss. And it's Jahari K responsible for it.
Yeah, there's the speed off that defensive end spot for 55, Jahari K. And good push up front. Couldn't give Holden any room to go. K tracks him down for another TFL for that defense.
Still 3 chances from the 13 to win the game potentially. Ten on the play clock as Musket checks off. He's looking, end zone, in and out of the hands of Green. The coverage came from Cameron Alexander, and it was almost picked by Clopton.
Yeah, but that was a ball that could have been caught. I mean, Musket put some heat on it to Terrence Green, but you have to in there. It's on the hands, but really a nice job by the defender, Alexander, to break that up. But, you know, I was just thinking, Jonathan, if you're a Monmouth fan and you said to yourself, I got 3 chances to win the game with a minute left inside the 15, you'll take it.
Yeah. Moore and Treadway to the bottom of your screen. Green to the top, the receivers. Will they slip a run in here on 3rd and goal? Trying to set up a screen. He got it to Fari. The defense flying in. And Fari will drive inside the 10, but it's going to be 4th and goal at the 9-yard line for the win. Barring a penalty, this next play will be it.
Man,
Timeout. Sam Houston stay.
Referee beat me to it. Sam Houston takes a timeout there. They're going to talk about it. So, one play for this ball game here. Unbelievable. And we talked about it. Listen, even though it was all Sam Houston in the first half, really only up 14-0. You knew if Monmouth could just go regroup, and that's how you know they're a good coaching staff. Kevin Callahan, so experienced. They didn't panic. They come out at halftime and they get it going offensively. They don't really rush. They take their time, put 2 big possessions together, 2 big touchdowns, and now a 3rd one here potentially to have the upset of the year.
Sam Houston led 21-0 when they scored with 13 minutes left very early in the 3rd quarter. They still led 21-0 when we flipped the field for the 4th quarter. Monmouth scored, got the 2-point conversion. Defense got a stop. They came down and scored again after another defensive stop. They are trying to go 3 for 3 and pull off a stunner. Four wide, Jawan Fari in the backfield. Picked off in the end zone. Sam Houston gonna win it. The streak lives, and the Bearcats are headed to the quarterfinals. Isaiah Downs with the play of the year for Sam Houston.
And you can't fault Tony Muskett there. You know, they go 3 wides there to the left. They try to spread out the secondary of Sam Houston. Muskett thinks he's got a receiver that he can get it to in the back of the end zone. Spins it in there, just a defender underneath. And Isaiah Downs makes that interception.
Treadway was the target, but you could see Downs was the help. Junior from California. And Tony Muskett's going to think about those plays for a long time. He should think about what a game he
and that young man's going to have a great career. Again, a true freshman. Only upside for him in this Monmouth program, and kudos to the Monmouth program. No give up whatsoever. Regrouped at halftime, and boy,
to be 1st and goal at the 9 away from upsetting the number 2 seed in the tournament, considering where Monmouth football was even 10 years ago, is pretty incredible. And the growth we've seen back-to-back Big South titles means big things for them.
Well, and people, I think, you know, just assumed, oh, Monmouth's going to come down here. Sam Houston's a power program. Southland coming to Texas, they're going to get blown out. It happens all the time. And it wasn't the case whatsoever. And really, and you look how dominant the defensive front was for Sam Houston with all 15 TFL, 6 sacks. And you look up, and Monmouth still had a chance to win the ball game.
If you're Sam Houston, or you're somebody looking at Sam Houston, where are their weaknesses now as a contender?
Well, I just think offensively, I don't think they ran the ball as well as they needed to and get those first downs. I mean, I don't really care what the numbers said. It's funny because you look at the numbers and you got to do it at the right times. And so I just think offensively, they kind of took their foot off the gas pedal and just weren't really, you know, didn't play clean, if you will, in the second half.
Offside. 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
The yardage pretty much academic at this point. Sam Houston, barring something miracle at the Meadowlands-ish, will advance to host the quarterfinal against North Dakota State or Eastern Washington. Monmouth has 1 timeout left to stop the clock. Eric Schmidt's going to wait and make everybody from Monmouth come flying in, and that, of course, leads to more pushing and shoving.
But if you're Eric Schmidt and you go back and you don't take the knee immediately, then Monmouth's still in this game. They're trying to get a fumble, so they're going to hit you.
Yeah.
So I know it's getting a little testy here, but it's not. no fault of Monmouth. You're still playing until there's zeros on the clock. So if you're Sam Houston, you have to protect.
DeJuan Cooper was the man who was breaking in on the quarterback. There was some pushing and shoving behind that. As you saw, North Dakota State has been the team to not.
The 18-yard line.
There you go.
After the play, timeout, Monmouth. It's their third and final charge, timeout of the half. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 38 seconds.
So
38 seconds, please.
The game's over.
Yeah, 38 seconds is not enough.
Take an immediate knee, the game's over.
And you get, look, North Dakota State has been every team's nemesis in the postseason. What, 34-1, I believe, is the number, winning 8 out of 9 FCS titles. Eastern Washington is no slouch, so we're not assuming anything.
Correct.
But if North Dakota State comes in here, what are the keys for Sam Houston in that?
You know, it's so tough with such a short season. Obviously, no Trey Lance in the spring for North Dakota State, and Entz, the new coach there in his second year, and just everything that's gone on. I just think it's so hard to predict and look, because you think North Dakota State of old, I just think they're a different team than they were. So I think Sam Houston has the advantage, being that it's a home game and they play so well here, but it'll be a good one if they can get through Eastern Washington.
Well, this was a good one. Sam Houston up 21-0 going to the fourth quarter. Monmouth made them sweat it out and then some, but Isaiah Downs' interception in the final minute moves Sam Houston to the quarterfinals of the FCS playoffs. 28-0 in home playoff games for Casey Keeler, 14-0 for his program, Sam Houston. This was a fun one.
Well, and if you're Sam Houston too, listen, a win's a win, right? You're moving on. And you had a little adversity for your team, right? You had to fight through the end, not playing well, hold on, make a play, make an interception in the end zone, get through it. So I think that kind of helps you as a team as well as you move through this playoff bracket or attempt to.
So Sam Houston, the first to advance. 7 more games underway and getting underway over on ESPN3 and in the ESPN app. So we hope you will check those out and check out coverage of the FCS playoffs on the ESPN app throughout April and May. Thanks so much for joining us this afternoon for our terrific crew. Everybody up in the booth, down in the truck, my partner Rini Angolia. I'm Jonathan Yardley. What an effort for both these teams to get the season in and play this one. Monmouth threatens, but Sam Houston survives to reach the quarterfinals. Just barely. Bearcats 21, Hawks 15, the final.